What if an ancient civilization you thought you knew was twice as big, twice as complex, and hid 60,000 secrets right under our noses for centuries? For generations, the Mayan civilization has captivated us. We've looked in awe at their towering pyramids, marveled at their intricate calendars, and pondered the mysteries of their sudden decline. We painted a picture of a brilliant, albeit somewhat fragmented society tucked away in the dense Central American jungle. But what if that picture was entirely incomplete? What if a groundbreaking technology just tore through the jungle canopy, not with machetes, but with invisible light, and rewrote the entire story of one of humanity's most astonishing ancient empires? Prepare to have your understanding of the Maya profoundly transformed, because recent discoveries using incredible technology have unearthed a truth that will send shivers down your spine. The Mayan civilization was not just larger than we thought, it was vastly larger, a sprawling, interconnected superpower that dwarfs our previous imagination. Imagine a civilization renowned for its mastery of the cosmos, its profound mathematical insights, and an architectural genius that etched monumental cities into the very fabric of the landscape. For centuries, the Mayan people have been celebrated as intellectual giants of the ancient world. Their intricate hieroglyphs, complex astronomical observatories, and breathtaking temples like those at Tikal or Palenque have stood as testament to a sophisticated culture that flourished in Mesoamerica for thousands of years. We pictured them as powerful city-states, yes, but often thought of them as somewhat isolated, thriving in pockets amidst an untamed wilderness. Historians and archaeologists meticulously pieced together their story, brick by painstakingly uncovered brick, creating a narrative that felt complete, a fixed chapter in the grand book of human history. Yet, despite all our digging, all our deciphering, and all our theorizing, we were only scratching the surface. We were like someone trying to understand an entire continent by looking at a few scattered islands. The true extent of their ingenuity, their sheer scale, and their societal complexity remained stubbornly hidden, shrouded beneath a relentless blanket of tropical jungle. That curtain, however, has now been pulled back not by a team of archaeologists with shovels, but by a silent, invisible force from the sky. In a revelation that has sent shockwaves through the scientific community and rewritten textbooks overnight, new discoveries have unveiled a Mayan civilization far more extensive, far more intricate, and far more populated than anyone had ever dared to imagine. It wasn't just a bit bigger, it was twice as large as we thought. We're talking about a civilization that until very recently, we only understood a fraction of. This isn't just a new site here or a new temple there. This is a fundamental reevaluation, a complete paradigm shift in our understanding of what the Mayan Empire truly was. The key to this astonishing revelation lies in a truly revolutionary piece of technology, light detection and ranging, or LiDAR. This isn't your grandfather's archaeology. This is archaeology from the future, delivering secrets from the past. So, what exactly is LiDAR, and how did it manage to peer through centuries of dense rainforest to expose a hidden world? At its core, LiDAR is a remote sensing method that uses light in the form of a pulsed laser to measure ranges, or variable distances, to the Earth. Think of it like this. An airplane flies over an area, and a special sensor on board shoots out millions of rapid laser pulses every second. These laser pulses zip down from the sky, hit the ground or anything in their path, and then bounce back to the sensor. The time it takes for each pulse to make this round trip is precisely measured. Because light travels at a known speed, the system can calculate the exact distance from the sensor to whatever the laser beam hit. It's like having a super fast, incredibly accurate tape measure operating from the sky. Now, here's where it gets really clever, especially for archaeology. The tropical jungles of Mesoamerica are incredibly dense. Trees grow thick and tall, their leaves forming a nearly impenetrable canopy that hides almost everything beneath it. For traditional archaeologists, this has always been a monumental challenge. They'd spend years, even decades hacking through undergrowth, making painstakingly slow progress. They could walk right over a vast city and never know it. But LiDAR has a secret weapon. Some of those laser pulses, a tiny percentage, can actually penetrate the gaps in the vegetation. They slip between the leaves and branches, reach the actual ground, and then bounce back. The sophisticated software then filters out all the noise from the trees and focuses solely on those ground returns. The result? A mind-blowing, incredibly detailed 3D map of the terrain without the jungle. It's like a digital X-ray of the Earth's surface. LiDAR essentially strips away the forest canopy, allowing researchers to see the ancient landscape as it truly is, unburdened by centuries of overgrowth. This means subtle features that would be completely invisible from the ground. A low wall, a raised road, the faint outline of a house foundation suddenly pop out in stunning clarity. Before LiDAR, the idea of getting a comprehensive overview of a vast forested region was a pipe dream. You were limited to what you could see on the ground or patchy aerial photos. Now, within days or weeks of flying over an area, archaeologists can have a complete, high-resolution topographical map that reveals every bump, every curve, every human-made alteration to the landscape. It's a game changer, nothing short of a revolution for archaeology, especially in places where nature has reclaimed much of history. And what did this revolutionary technology find? The sheer scale of the discovery is almost difficult to grasp. In the dense, largely unexplored jungles of Guatemala, the LiDAR scans peeled back the green veil to expose not just a few new structures, but over 60,000 previously hidden buildings and features. 60,000! That's like finding an entire lost country, filled with cities, towns, and villages that no one knew existed. It's an almost unimaginable number, painting a picture of an ancient landscape teeming with life, activity, and human ingenuity. The types of structures revealed were equally astounding and speak volumes about the lives of the ancient Maya. We're not just talking about temples, though there were certainly many new ceremonial centers. The LiDAR data showed countless houses, the everyday dwellings of ordinary people, indicating a population density far greater than previously calculated. It unveiled intricate networks of defensive fortifications, walls, moats, and watchtowers, suggesting a society that was not always at peace, but one that actively defended its territories and resources. Perhaps most revelatory were the extensive irrigation systems, sophisticated canals, reservoirs, and water management features, and vast agricultural terraces that carved into hillsides and shaped the lowlands. These weren't isolated patches. They were enormous, integrated systems designed to feed a truly colossal population. This discovery didn't just add numbers to the Mayan census, it fundamentally reshaped our understanding of the very nature of Mayan society. For a long time, the prevailing view was that the Maya existed as a collection of somewhat independent, often competing, city-states. You had Tikal, Calakmul, Palenque, each with its own king and its own sphere of influence, separated by stretches of jungle. The jungle was seen as a barrier, limiting large-scale connectivity. But what LiDAR showed was a vast, interconnected network. The jungle wasn't an empty space between cities. It was filled with settlements, towns, and cities, all linked by causeways, canals, and agricultural infrastructure. It painted a picture of a metropolitan civilization, not just scattered urban centers. It indicated a level of social and political organization, of cooperation and control that far exceeded any previous estimates based on conventional ground surveys. This was a complex, densely populated society on a scale that rivals some of the greatest ancient empires of the world. The implications of these discoveries ripple far beyond just counting more buildings. They force us to entirely rethink core assumptions about Mayan practices, particularly their agricultural capabilities and even the long-debated reasons for their eventual decline. The scale of the agricultural infrastructure, those vast terraces and intricate canal systems, was a monumental surprise. Previously, many scholars believed the Maya struggled with large-scale food production in the tropical environment, limiting their population growth. This new evidence shatters that idea. It points to a highly organized, incredibly efficient system of food production capable of supporting millions of people. We're talking about sophisticated landscape engineering on a massive scale, designed to maximize every inch of arable land and manage water resources with incredible precision. This was a civilization that not only understood its environment, but actively reshaped it to sustain an enormous populace. It challenges the romanticized notion of a lost civilization swallowed by the jungle. Instead, it reveals a civilization that actively managed and manipulated the jungle itself for its survival. But it wasn't all peaceful cultivation. The extensive fortifications revealed by LiDAR, the massive walls, defensive ditches, and watchtowers speak to a different, harsher reality. These weren't just temporary barricades. They were permanent, strategically placed defenses, indicating a persistent threat. This evidence strongly suggests a history of endemic warfare and intense competition for resources among Mayan kingdoms. Instead of a series of grand intellectual centers existing in relative harmony, the LiDAR data reveals a complex, often brutal, society where rivalries were high and territories were fiercely defended. It shows that the Maya were not only brilliant astronomers and architects, but also formidable strategists and warriors, constantly vying for power and control. This adds a crucial layer of understanding to the complexities of Mayan society, moving beyond the idyllic image of scholarly priests to acknowledge the very real political and military struggles that shaped their world. And what about the enduring mystery of the Mayan collapse? For decades, scholars have put forward various theories: environmental disaster, prolonged drought, warfare, disease. The new LiDAR data doesn't provide a single answer, but it offers critical new pieces to the puzzle. The sheer scale of the population and the intensity of the land use now revealed suggest that environmental stress, when it hit, would have been catastrophic. An enormous population, reliant on intricately managed agricultural systems, would have been incredibly vulnerable to prolonged droughts or shifts in climate. Overpopulation, combined with extensive deforestation for agriculture and construction, could have pushed the delicate ecological balance to its breaking point. When you add the undeniable evidence of widespread warfare and competition for resources, you start to see a perfect storm of factors. It wasn't just one thing that caused their decline. It was likely a devastating combination of environmental degradation, immense population pressure, and relentless political instability, all playing out on a scale far grander than we ever conceived. The LiDAR data allows us to see the immense pressure points that could have led to such a widespread societal downturn. The broad impact of this discovery is truly profound. It fundamentally reshapes our understanding of Mayan civilization's size, its internal organization, its social complexity, and even its ultimate fate. We're not just tweaking a few historical footnotes. We're rewriting entire chapters, forcing us to reevaluate what we thought we knew about an entire ancient world. The Maya were not just brilliant. They were colossal, a massive, interconnected empire whose true grandeur was hidden in plain sight for centuries. This groundbreaking research also underscores the immense value of advanced technologies like LiDAR in unlocking the secrets of our past. It proves that there's still so much to discover, so much history yet to be unearthed, even in places we thought we knew intimately. LiDAR provides a more complete, a more nuanced, and ultimately a more accurate picture of human history, challenging our assumptions and pushing the boundaries of archaeological discovery. It reminds us that our understanding of the past is never truly complete, always evolving with new tools and new perspectives. The work, of course, is far from over. These initial LiDAR scans have only covered a fraction of the vast Mayan heartland. There are still untold miles of jungle waiting to give up their secrets. The ongoing research potential is staggering. Every new scan promises to further illuminate the lives, the accomplishments, and perhaps even more of the mysteries surrounding this remarkable civilization. As the data continues to pour in, we can expect even more incredible revelations that will continue to deepen our appreciation for the ingenuity and resilience of the ancient Maya. If you want to delve deeper into the secrets of lost civilizations, click the video on your screen right now.